Welcome to Vital Elixir. Today we're diving into a really frustrating and honestly, sometimes scary issue that so many of us face after 45, and that is peripheral neuropathy. We're going to break down the actual science of why you might be losing sensation, but more importantly, we're going to show you why this is absolutely not just a normal part of aging that you just have to sit back and accept.
You know the feeling, right? It usually starts small. You wake up, reach over for your phone, and your hand is just dead asleep. Or maybe you've dropped your favorite coffee mug because your fingers simply wouldn't grip it the way they used to. Or, and this is often the worst part, it hits you at night. The soles of your feet burn, they buzz, they tingle so intensely you literally have to stick them out from under the covers just to get a moment's peace. We get it. We understand how deeply this threatens your independence and just makes you feel disconnected from your own body.
And what happens when you bring this up at a routine checkup? You probably hear this incredibly dismissive trope from a well-meaning doctor. Oh, it's just a pinched nerve. It's just part of getting older. You'll just have to learn to live with it. Well, today we are empowering you with science. We're going to expose the true biological signals behind that pain and show you that with the right environment, your nervous system is incredibly resilient. It can actually heal. Now, really quick safety note here. If you ever experience sudden numbness on one side of your body, facial drooping, or a sudden loss of bowel or bladder control, please seek emergency medical care immediately. But if you're dealing with that chronic, creeping numbness and tingling, you are in exactly the right place.
To truly fix this issue, we gotta know how the machinery works, right? So let's use a super simple analogy. Picture your nerves as electrical wires running all the way from your spine right down to your fingertips and your toes. Now, the center of that wire is the copper core carrying the electrical signal. But wrapped around that core is something absolutely crucial. It's called the myelin sheath. Basically, it's a thick, fatty, protective insulation wrapping right around the nerve's core.
When that myelin sheath is healthy and thick, boom, the electrical signal travels incredibly fast and smooth. You can feel the soft blanket on your toes, you can grip the steering wheel with the perfect amount of pressure. But what happens when that insulation degrades? The wire frays, the signal shorts out and leaks. Your brain actually interprets those chaotic leaking sparks as burning, tingling, and buzzing. And eventually, if that wire is left completely bare, the signal just stops altogether, which leaves you with complete numbness.
It usually boils down to 3 sneaky biological traps. We're going to explore these right now so you can work with your doctor to pinpoint your specific roadblock.
Saboteur number 1 is what we call the sugar coat. Now this is fascinating and honestly a bit scary. Burning feet can actually be a very early sign of insulin resistance and prediabetes, sometimes way before your A1C blood tests cross into the official diabetic range. See, when there's excess glucose floating around in your blood, it binds to the proteins in your myelin sheath. This creates what are called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Think of it like this. It literally caramelizes and stiffens your nerve insulation, causing it to crack and fray.
Then we have saboteur number 2, chemical starvation. Your nerves need massive amounts of vitamin B12 to build and repair that myelin sheath. But millions of us take 2 very common medications, PPIs, like omeprazole for acid reflux, and metformin for blood sugar. Over time, these drugs can severely block your gut from absorbing B12. So if you've been on these for years, your nerves might be quietly starving, even if you eat a perfectly healthy diet. Now, obviously, always consult your doctor before changing any medications, but this is a critical conversation you need to have with them.
And saboteur number 3 is the mechanical pinch. Sometimes the issue isn't a frayed wire down at the tips of your toes, it's actually being crushed at the source. As we get older, things like spinal stenosis or arthritis can narrow the tiny exit holes in our spine. This creates a mechanical pinch that gently chokes the nerve root 24/7. By the time that signal finally reaches your hands or feet, it's severely degraded.
Let's be real, the wellness space is full of quick fixes that don't work. Those expensive nerve repair capsaicin creams, they just intentionally burn the superficial nerve endings in your skin to distract your brain from the deeper pain. They do absolutely nothing to rebuild the nerve. How about copper compression socks? Look, compression is great for swelling, for sure, but copper has zero biological ability to penetrate the skin and rebuild myelin. And those cheap, standard multivitamins? They usually contain cyanocobalamin. That is a synthetic form of B12 that is incredibly poorly absorbed, especially if your gut is already compromised.
Here are 4 action steps designed to safely support your nerve health: the methyl B12 protocol, the glucose shield, nerve flossing, and spinal decompression.
As always, please remember to use this information to partner with your healthcare provider before starting any new regimen.
Fix number 1 is the methyl B12 protocol. So, here's the secret. Standard B12 blood tests can sometimes miss the mark. Instead, ask your doctor to check your homocysteine and MMA levels. These are much better markers of what's happening inside your cells. If you are deficient, or if you take a PPI or metformin, talk to your doctor about using sublingual, meaning under the tongue, liquid drops of methylcobalamin. That's the active form of B12. By taking it under the tongue, you bypass the stomach completely and deliver those raw materials straight into your bloodstream to help reinsulate those wires.
Fix number 2 is what we call the glucose shield. If your neuropathy is being driven by blood sugar, we have to stop that caramelization process we talked about. A wonderfully simple tool is just taking a 10-minute walk after your heaviest meal. It acts like a giant sponge, naturally soaking up all that circulating glucose right into your muscles. Plus, some clinical trials suggest that alpha-lipoic acid, or ALA, acts as a really potent antioxidant to specifically shield your nerves from sugar-induced stress. Fix number 3 is nerve flossing. If you've got a mechanical pinch or some scar tissue, you can actually gently floss or glide the nerves back and forth through their anatomical tunnels. For numb hands, try a median nerve glide. You just make a fist, extend your fingers, bend your wrist back, and gently pull your thumb down. For burning feet, a gentle sciatic glide while lying on your back is fantastic. Doing just 10 gentle reps of these daily can safely break up adhesions and get that blood flowing again. But remember, we want to gently glide here, not aggressively stretch. Finally, fix number 4 is spinal decompression. Creating just a little physical space in the spine gives those choked nerve roots the room they desperately need to breathe. You can practice passive hanging, or honestly, even just focus on proper sleep posture. Using a supportive cervical pillow that keeps your neck in neutral alignment takes so much physical pressure off those exiting nerve roots while you sleep, letting your body focus on what it does best: repair.
The bottom line is this: your nerves are not just randomly wearing out because you're getting older. They've simply been starved, sugar-coated, or pinched. But as we've seen in this explainer, your nervous system is incredibly adaptable, and it is ready to reconnect when you give it the right support. So my final question for you is, which of these 4 fixes are you going to discuss with your doctor today? Leave a comment below and let us know what empowering step you'll take first to reclaim your sensation, protect your mobility, and keep living your best, most independent life. Thank you so much for joining me today. Stay strong and keep striving for vitality.
Thank you for your time. Subscribe for more health education. Like the video and share it to help others stay informed.